You had a baby in a house when you were 13 years old and we can't find you. By the way, where's the baby buried? I asked that question to her. And she said what happened after she gave birth was they called her mom and they said that she's got to go. I said, how do you know the baby was dead? You're telling me they moved you into a room and they induced labor after you said, I don't want to give up my child.
And the kids, we all thought they were this tragic little family. They weren't his. We found the DNA records later.
This story has taken a turn that few people expected. What once seemed like a straightforward narrative is now surrounded by questions, speculation, and details that don't quite add up. From missing moments and conflicting timelines to resurfacing names and growing online theories, the situation has become impossible for many to ignore. As more information and claims continue to circulate, people are starting to look closer at the bigger picture.
It's Erika Kirk getting an ultrasound. There's been a lot of talk about whether or not that woman has really ever been pregnant. Now, I've been pregnant 5 times. The first was a miscarriage, gave birth to 4. So you bet your ass I zoomed in on that ultrasound screen. And this is a close-up of the screen, which led me to do a deep dive into the stages of pregnancy, which I've done, back in the day when I was pregnant, but it's been a while.
Are these just coincidences being overanalyzed, or are there pieces of the story that haven't been fully explained yet? In this breakdown, we're going through the key details, the timeline, and the questions that everyone is asking right now. If what Candace Owens just hinted at turns out to be real, then this situation doesn't just complicate Erika Kirk's story, it blows it wide open and flips everything.
It's hard to see a lot of detail in that picture. Based on her stomach size and the size of what we can see, it would be safe to presume this is the viability ultrasound, that they determine if there's a heartbeat, which they can do as early as 6 weeks. And this is what it looks like at 6 weeks. And this is what it looks like at 8 weeks. Wanted to compare that to her picture, but I don't have the technology to zoom in on it. I wasted 2 hours, except I learned that at 9 weeks they hiccup. I didn't know that.
Upside down. For months, the narrative people thought they understood suddenly starts looking shaky. Now, across social media, the same uneasy question keeps popping up again and again. Was Erika ever actually pregnant at all? And if she really was, the next question hits even harder. Was the child actually Charlie's? Right now, there are quiet whispers moving behind the scenes about alleged DNA proof being passed around in private circles, and those rumors are getting louder every single day. What used to stay tucked away in small online communities is now spilling out into the open.
Hid. Not because I was embarrassed, not because I didn't want anyone. Yes, we did keep it very private, but it's because it was a moment very sacred. I was growing a human inside of me, my baby. The world that Charlie and I live in is very toxic at times.
Grabbing attention fast. But before jumping too far ahead, it's worth slowing down and looking at something simple and real. In today's world, pregnancies are documented constantly. People post updates, photos, and videos at every stage. And when it comes to public figures or online personalities, that kind of documentation is usually everywhere. But in Erika's case, something feels off. There's not one clear, candid photo showing her visibly pregnant. Not a single public moment with a clear baby bump. No paparazzi shots, no casual snapshots, nothing unfiltered on social media where people can clearly see it.
We laugh about this because our dates are so messed up because of babies, meaning there's so many dates to remember.
And that absence stands out even more because Erika built her entire image around being on camera all the time. She's been on camera nonstop, on stages, on airplanes, at conferences, and even during emotional moments most people would normally keep private. That's exactly why the next part of this story is getting harder for people to ignore. When Charlie passed away, Erika didn't step back from the spotlight. She did the complete opposite. She picked up the camera right away and documented everything as it happened. She filmed herself while grieving. She even recorded the moment she kissed her husband goodbye. These were deeply personal moments most people would never think to share.
Seeing Charlie in an elevator, everything about Charlie is adding up. I cannot get a single person to confirm if they saw Erika, who's apparently out and about. I then thought, wouldn't it make sense? She screams in the middle of a parking lot. She screams in the middle of a doctor's office. Everybody kind of knows where they were when Charlie got shot. Okay, if this doctor's office had people in it, there's going to be someone who said, hey, I heard a giant scream at my doctor's office.
And yet they were posted publicly in real time. That choice has people talking, because when someone shares so much of their life so openly, others start expecting that same level of openness across everything else too. Here's the contradiction people can't stop bringing up. Why would a pregnancy be treated as something totally private and hidden, while grief, loss, and even the most painful goodbye were shared instantly for the whole world to see? If privacy was really the guiding rule behind those choices, then why did it only apply to one very specific part of her life? That uneven line is exactly what's making people raise their eyebrows all over the internet.
Because I know we had a birth plan, and the only thing that went to plan on that birth plan was that we had a child.
That's right.
Everything else
We had a great
went out the window.
We had a great OB. May he rest in peace. Terrible story.
It's so sad.
And that's the point where online discussions started digging deeper, looking closer at every detail. Erika's entire online identity is built around her marriage. Her social media handles literally say, Mrs. Erika Kirk, tying everything about her public image directly to that name. So when the ultrasound footage surfaced, viewers were quick to notice something that didn't feel right. The name shown on the ultrasound wasn't Erika Kirk. That detail hit hard, and it instantly added another layer of questions that people couldn't ignore. It reportedly showed her maiden name, Erika Franca. Now, sure, there could be a simple explanation. Maybe it was older paperwork. Maybe the hospital system hadn't been updated yet, or maybe it was just an administrative mix-up. But when someone's entire public identity is built around being Mrs. Erika Kirk, seeing a completely different name on something as major as an ultrasound instantly caught people's attention and raised a lot of questions. And that wasn't the only detail viewers picked up on. People also noticed that Charlie wasn't present during that ultrasound visit. Instead, Erika was reportedly there with her mother, Lori.
Tracy Martin. Remember, Tracy Martin is Erika's best friend for over 15 years. How close are Erika and Tracy? They've done everything together. Tracy says from Romanian Angels. Erika modeled for her clothing brands.
On its own, that might not seem unusual at all. But when you stack it next to everything else people have been noticing, it becomes another piece of a story that viewers are trying to make sense of. On its own, that might not seem like a big deal. Families go to medical appointments together all the time. But once people started connecting that detail with the complete lack of visible pregnancy photos, the questions started piling up fast. When there's no clear public proof, even the smallest details suddenly feel huge and get picked apart. Then people began digging into older clips, and that's where things started to look even more awkward. In one conversation, Erika struggled to remember her wedding anniversary and even stumbled over dates connected to her children. That moment alone triggered another wave of speculation online. Viewers kept replaying it, trying to figure out what was going on. And there's another clip that keeps getting attention from Charlie's podcast. In it, Erika casually mentioned that her obstetrician was no longer alive. That comment left a lot of listeners confused, with people searching for more context and wondering what exactly she meant. But things don't stop there. They take an even sharper turn. Recently, Candace Owens made a claim that pushed this entire situation into a completely different direction. She alleged that on the day Charlie was shot, Erika may not have been where she originally said she was. That accusation alone sent the internet into a full frenzy, with questions spreading fast and people demanding answers.
This is shocking that Tracy's daughter is actually Erika's assistant. I'll put an allegedly there because we've got to confirm that information. But the source knows.
At first, people were only throwing around one thing.
Erika originally said that she was at the hospital with her mother receiving treatment that day. That was the explanation people were given at the time. But now, according to sources recently mentioned by Candace Owens, the story might look very different behind the scenes. Those sources are claiming Erika may have actually been at a hotel suite in Fort Huachuca instead. That claim alone has thrown the internet into a storm of speculation, with people trying to figure out what's real and what isn't. When all of this first came out, Andrew Colbert reportedly worked hard to support Erika's timeline. He publicly suggested that Erika and Charlie had dinner together the night before. He even shared a photo that was meant to back that up. And that picture was taken by Erika herself. The image showed a hand holding a phone while walking with children. It was presented as proof that she was with her kids on September 9th at around 8:33 a.m. Pacific time, supposedly taking them out for a morning walk before heading into the office. At the time, that photo was supposed to settle everything and quiet the questions. But now, new claims are starting to challenge that entire timeline in a major way. According to these latest allegations, Erika may not have been with Charlie the night before at all.
Where he was to tell his story, but he also had to include the part where he claims that he saw Erika Kirk the night before, also on Fort Huachuca at Candlewood Inn and Suites, okay?
If that turns out to be true, it raises even more questions about what really happened during those key hours. Instead, some reports suggest she was allegedly spending time with Tracy Martin, a woman who has reportedly been in Erika's life for over a decade. That detail alone shifts how people are looking at the entire situation. Because if Erika wasn't with her mother like she originally said, then a new question hits right away. Why say that in the first place? And if she really was with Tracy that night, what exactly was going on? Online observers have pointed to years of photos showing Erika and Tracy spending a lot of time together. Shared vacations, family holidays, and events where they kept showing up side by side, again and again. Tracy appears in many moments throughout Erika's life, which has only added more attention to their connection. There are also claims circulating that Tracy's daughter, McKenna, may have worked as Erika's personal assistant at one point. For some people, all of this simply looks like a long-term friendship. But for others watching closely, it opens the door to a completely different set of questions that the internet can't stop debating. And this is exactly where the speculation online started getting even louder, with people digging deeper and pushing for more answers. At first, people were only focusing on one theory, that Erika may have used a surrogate to have children. That idea had already been floating around quietly in online discussions for some time.
I want to see what they did to my husband, and I want to give him a kiss, because I didn't get to give him a kiss this morning.
But once people started connecting it to the missing pregnancy photos, the confusing ultrasound name, and several moments where details about her children seemed unclear, the conversation quickly shifted into something much bigger. Suddenly, the theory wasn't just about surrogacy anymore. Some online commentators began suggesting something even more dramatic: the possibility that the children could biologically belong to someone within Erika's close circle. Now, to be clear, these are claims circulating online, and they have not been publicly proven. Still, that hasn't stopped people from closely analyzing every detail they can find and building their own interpretations. From their perspective, certain pieces start lining up in a way that raises eyebrows. Supporters of this theory argue it could explain the lack of visible pregnancy photos. They say it might also explain why the ultrasound reportedly showed a different last name. And to them, it could even explain why the topic of pregnancy was handled so privately, while so many other parts of Erika's life were shared openly and documented for everyone to see. That's exactly why this conversation keeps growing louder, with more people jumping in and questioning what really happened behind the scenes. And that leads to an even bigger question. People keep going back and forth, wondering if any of these rumors hold any truth at all. Did Charlie know what was really going on, or was he seeing a completely different version of events compared to what others now suspect? These kinds of discussions had already been circulating online for a while. But recently, the story took an even sharper turn when a new name suddenly entered the conversation: Tyler Bauer. That mention alone added a fresh layer of curiosity and pushed the speculation into an entirely new direction. The story stopped feeling vague to some people and started getting very specific. Because now, the speculation isn't just about secrecy or surrogacy anymore. It's shifted into something much more serious: paternity. Some sources circulating online have alleged that Tyler Bauer could potentially be the biological father of Erika's children. Again, there is no confirmed public evidence proving that claim. But the reason the rumor keeps spreading is because people believe certain timelines don't fully add up. Reports have suggested that Erika and Charlie's marriage may not have been in a strong place during that time. According to some accounts, tension had been building, and the relationship was already facing struggles behind the scenes. And if that timeline is accurate, it would completely reshape how people interpret everything that followed, adding even more weight to the questions now being raised. By that point, the idea of divorce didn't seem like some distant possibility anymore, at least according to people discussing the situation online. It started to look like something real that could have been approaching fast. Some observers began pointing to small details they believed hinted at tension inside the marriage. They claimed Charlie was no longer wearing his wedding ring.
And Tyler was there.
Tyler Boyer.
Yes, he was there with his wife, his beautiful wife, and his kids. And he came up to me afterwards and he was like, hey, we have this organization and we're starting in Arizona. Would love for you to be a part of it. And I said, thank you for all the information, but I am moving to Manhattan. And I was like, stay in touch. And we didn't really stay in touch all that much.
There were also stories circulating that he had been sleeping on the couch. And according to critics watching closely, Erika didn't kiss him goodbye the day before everything happened. On their own, each of those details might seem minor. But when people start lining them up side by side, they begin to form a narrative that many online commentators keep debating over and over again. That's where the conversation really started gaining momentum. Then there's another moment that sparked a wave of discussion. Erika publicly shared what was described as Charlie's final letter to her. The message spoke highly of Erika and expressed deep love for her, which only added another layer of complexity to everything people thought they understood. That raised another question people couldn't ignore. Why would such a deeply private letter be shared with the public in the first place? Some skeptics even went as far as questioning whether the letter was authentic, although there's no verified evidence to support that claim. Still, once it was made public, every single word was bound to be picked apart, analyzed, and debated from every angle. And then there's one more detail that keeps making people pause and look twice, adding even more tension to the situation. LEM reports have been circulating, suggesting that Erika may have been at a resort when Charlie was shot, not at home, and not at the location she originally described. Those reports are still disputed, but they've continued to fuel intense online speculation. If the marriage was already under strain that night, people immediately start asking a heavier question: what exactly did Charlie know? Because if Tyler Bauer had introduced Erika to Charlie years earlier, and if rumors about past connections between them were true, some observers believe that could seriously reshape the timeline. This is where things start to feel even more intense online. What people thought they understood suddenly doesn't seem so clear anymore. Some commentators suggest that if private conversations about DNA or paternity ever happened behind closed doors, it would completely change how the entire situation is viewed. To be clear, there are currently no publicly confirmed DNA reports supporting those claims. Still, the speculation keeps growing. Candace Owens recently hinted in her series Bride of Charlie that she may have information that could challenge Erika's carefully built public image as the perfect political spouse. According to Candace, what comes next could completely shift how people see this entire story. And then there's the detail that keeps standing out. Tyler Bauer's name keeps appearing at different points in Erika and Charlie's timeline. Before they met, during their marriage, and now again in conversations about how everything may have unraveled. When the same name keeps resurfacing like that, it only adds more pressure to an already explosive situation. In a story like this, people are naturally going to start paying attention to patterns because patterns stand out for a reason. Right now, whether it's completely fair or totally off track, Tyler Bauer's name keeps showing up in the middle of a pattern that many online observers say they just can't ignore. And that's exactly why the speculation refuses to fade away. So now the biggest questions are still hanging in the air. Why was Erika reportedly gone the night before Charlie's shooting? Was she really with Tracy that night like some people believe? Or is there another explanation that hasn't been fully cleared up yet? And then there are the rumors that keep spreading. People continue debating claims online about whether Tracy may have played a much deeper role in Erika's life. Some say it was nothing more than a close friendship, simple and straightforward. Others, though, are speculating about completely different possibilities. And that's where the conversation keeps getting more intense. Now it turns to you. What do you think about everything that's been discussed here? Do these connections feel like coincidences? Or do they point to bigger, unanswered questions that still need attention? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're following this story closely, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone else who's been keeping up with all the details. Also, don't miss the next video on your screen.